But listen, Ms. Pugh, don't speak over me. Ms. Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
Where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
What unfolds is a storm of tension, emotion, and truth. For 7 years, the aunt carried the weight: school runs, medical bills, late nights, and early mornings, all without a dime or a thank you. Now, the biological mother reappears, expecting leniency, maybe even sympathy. But the court sees the bigger picture: a child raised with love, stability, and sacrifice. This isn't just about money, it's about accountability. The judge's response? Clear and firm. It's time the mother steps up, because support isn't optional. It's overdue.
I'm the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I'm the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand. Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right, so Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest. Your Honor.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself, or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you, or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it, and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus, and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel defective defense.
It's overruled.
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
She says Stevie brings her joy. But when it's time to talk about diapers, clothes, or even hair care, that joy suddenly has limits. The aunt, who's been holding it down for 7 years, asks for the bare minimum, and what does the mother offer in return? Excuses and attitude. Then the courtroom shifts. Judge Bailey leans forward, eyes sharp, voice steady. She's heard enough, and just when the mother thinks she might wiggle her way out, the gavel drops with a ruling that flips the whole room. You won't believe what happens next. But let's just say, justice has a way of catching up.
Your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Ms. Pugh, don't speak over me.
Respectfully, Your Honor, for my incarceration.
Ms. Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer. And your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I do not agree or comply to your appointed
Go back.
agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled.
Is to the state.
Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't.
The judge has had enough. No more sidestepping, no more sob stories. It's time for child support. Period. But then comes the twist. The mom casually drops that her job is roller derby queen. The courtroom stirs. You can almost hear the collective, "Wait, what?" Judge Bailey arches an eyebrow, stunned but composed. "What throne exactly do you sit on?" she asks, half sarcastic, half serious. Because while skating in circles may pay in bruises and bragging rights, it's not about to cover clothes, food, or a growing child's needs. Now, the question isn't just about responsibility. It's about reality, and whether the court will accept a fantasy over financials.
Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's just been given, he's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of the appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
To the conflict of interest, and for the record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me. If you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today. If that's what you want to do, we'll get your case set for trial, and we'll go forward that way. It is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you are expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury, and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of options, and we'll go over those as well, okay? So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required, all right? So have you ever studied the law? Okay. Have you ever represented yourself before in any kind of criminal matter? Okay. Do you understand the charges against you?
I'm never been accused of.
Okay. And so do you know, and we've gone over before, I think, what the range of punishment is if you're found guilty on a jury? Do you know what that is? Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up here. We'll go over that again as well. The date of that allegation is from June 22nd of 2021. And what that means is if you're found guilty, that the range of punishment that the jury could give you is between 2 years, as a minimum punishment, up to 10 years in prison, anywhere in between. Do you understand? And you answer out loud just for the record.
Do I understand? No, I don't understand.
What do you not understand about?
4. She makes $48,000 a year. Steady income, decent job, no major barriers. But here's the kicker. She hasn't paid a single dime towards Stevie's upbringing. Not for school clothes, not for doctor visits, not even for a birthday card. When pressed, her defense is almost textbook. "I've got 2 other kids to take care of, But Judge Bailey? She's not having it. And Stevie isn't one of them, she fires back, sharp and unwavering. Because under the law, one child doesn't get to disappear just because two others exist. The courtroom goes silent. The weight of responsibility thick in the air. That excuse may work at brunch. It won't fly in court. The gavel's about to come down, and when it does, it'll be loud, legal, and long overdue.